Okay. It says like this in the Pasuk. Vayomer Moshe. Hashem told Moshe Rabbeinu, Netes yodcha alayam. Put down your hands on the sea. V'yoshuvu amayim al Mitzrayim al ichbor parasha. The water will go back, will return back on the Egyptians, on the chariots, and on the soldiers, or whatever it is, riders. Vayet Moshe yodo el hayam. Moshe Rabbeinu put his hand on the sea. Vayoshov ayom lifnos boiker. The sea went back before the morning. And Torah used the word le'eitano. Le'isano means to his first strength. Now, what does the first strength mean? That's what it says. Vayoshov ayam lifnot boker le'eitano. To his strength. Umitzrayim nasim nikrato, and the Egyptians are running towards it. Vayener Hashem et Mitzrayim, Hashem shook the Egyptians within the sea. So Chazal, the Medrash Rabbi Bereshis Rabo 5:5, hey, they darshan the word leitano, not his strength, comes the word letnao, condition, condition. Leitano means letnao arishon, his first condition, which means HaKadosh Baruch Hu made a condition with all his creations who created the world that they have to follow what Hashem created them for. The stone to stay a stone, which means the neutron today was easy to understand. The electrons, the neutrons, or whatever, everything that's flying and moving, Hashem made a condition on them that they have to stay the same form what he created them for. So if you created the water to have a balance in the water, that there is chok kelim mishulavim, that there is always the same balance, whatever is kind of the word in English. So suddenly here it changed. The water stood up without falling down like a wall. It's against the condition what Hashem made with the sea. So Hashem says that although he broke the rule, but now after the Egyptians, after the Jewish people left the Red Sea and now the Egyptians inside, he brought her back to his first condition. Comes the Ohr HaChaim HaKodosh, and he says, he has a kasha on Chazal. This is not the place of the condition. Ein ze mekoim atnai. Here, it's not the place where he made the condition. Ela bishasa chaluko sham yaskir tnai ze. In the time when the sea split, he should have mentioned the condition. Not after. Or ve'ulai maybe ki yoidia kosuf. Maybe the Torah wants to inform us. Ki achar sheshov, after he went back, oz then yoda, then he knew shutnai sheitno imo Hashem. Then he knew the conditions Hashem made with him. Hashem's condition, or his special designation will be canceled from the world. Even though the condition was known to him. Maybe. Since it was something amazing that the whole sea became dry. And the water became the dry land. The standing waters became like bricks or stones walls. Yoimu kibad kitzo yamken. Said it's okay. He was demolished. When he went back to his original form, Yoda knew Ki ein ze el atnai rishon levad. There's only the first condition that's to stay as water. So it seems to be that HaKadosh Baruch Hu made a condition with the sea, and he said, if you listen to me, so it's okay. If not, I'm going to destroy you. We can be demolished. It's not only when Hashem created the world, he created it with condition to stay the format. He also made a condition then that he must listen to Hashem to split the Red Sea. And when he came back to the original condition. When he came back, he knew isn't it only the first condition alone that he has to stay water? And there's no new condition that he told him to split the Red Sea. Because that was a momentarily. So comes the Orach Chaim and he says, we have to understand the way of the condition. If it was for those who left Egypt, why, if the condition was, be water, besides one time when the Jewish people are going to leave Egypt and you have to split the sea for the Jews who are going out of Egypt. So why he was all nervous? As Chazal teaches that he started to fight with Moshe Rabbeinu. The Shmois Rabbo says, I'm not going to split myself against you for your request. I was created on Tuesday, and you created on Friday. So I'm before you in creation. That's what it says there. Until Hashem put his right on the right hand of Moshe Rabbeinu, as a dechsiv in Isaiah, Moilich lemin Moshe. So he says, well, why you had a whole fight? If that was originally conditioned to be a normal water, and besides the Jewish people leaving Egypt, so it's all part of his creation. It's all part of his condition. There was the original condition, Tnai Rishon, and then there's another condition that when the Jewish people leave Egypt, you'd have to split for them. And that second condition was not here when he came back, rather an original time when they split.
Rabbi, I have a question.
And so maybe, the Orach Chaim said maybe there was two conditions. One to be water, and number two to split when the Jews come. But he thought maybe it's not the condition. Maybe Hashem wants to destroy me. But when it was momentarily and went back to water, then he understood. Only in the end he understood that the fact he split was only because of his momentarily condition for the Jewish people. But really, his first condition still stays, and that's what it says. He went back to the original condition. But still, why you had to fight with Moshe Rabbeinu? Then the Orach Chaim comes out with a very strong kasha. This is what's important for us. What's the big deal of Kriyas Yamsuf? Hashem split the sea not only for the Jewish people, also the Gemara brings a story in Chulin Daf Zayin that Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair was walking to redeem captives. It's our reality now, to redeem captives. And he was facing a river. The river name was Ginai. He says, Ginoi, Ginoi, river, Ginoi, split. I'm going to do my will of Hashem. He says, I'm also doing my will of Hashem. And he didn't even listen to this. He says, I'm decreeing for the Koach Torah, the power of Torah to split. And he split, and his students were afraid to split with him. And he says, anyone that is a Baal Midas Toivas, he let go, he's a kind person, doesn't have kina, doesn't have jealousy, he can pass through. And he passed. So what do we see? Splitting of the Red Sea is not only special condition on the Jewish people, it's also even on private people. They split by force. Rabbi Pinchas will split the river by force. And if Hashem only made one condition, the first condition was be water. Second condition was only one condition to split for the Jewish people leaving Egypt. So where Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair got the power to split the Red Sea? What was the power of Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair to go over to become stronger than the condition of Ma'aseh Bereshis? Than the format, the condition Hashem made and the formation of Ma'aseh Bereshis, creation.
But there wasn't Shu, there was Hebrew. The arm of Hebrew. They don't receive the Torah. When they received the Torah, there was Shu. When they received the Torah of Moshe Rabbeinu, they became Yehudim.
True. So
they are Hebrew. How do you say Hebrew?
Yes, no, so.
But also when they...
What was the question?
The question, we know that we are in the middle of the Torah that we are happening right now.
No, what was the question? You're not focusing. What is the question of the Rachai?
The Rachai, why did God need to kill all the Hebrew?
No.
Israel? That's my question.
Your question, not mine.
No.
What was the Rachai's question? Focus not on yourself.
Okay.
On the Rachaim. What the Rachaim's question?
The condition of to get out to Israel.
No. It says that when Hashem split the Red Sea, yes, he made a condition when he created the world. He made a condition with the water that you have to stay water, format of the rules of water. But besides, when the Jewish people are going to leave Egypt. And here, when Moshe Rabbeinu put his hand in the water, went back, it says, went back leitanot, his first condition. The itanot from the language, tanai, condition. So the question is, this condition that he went to the original, this first condition, second condition. He went back to the first condition that he has to stay water. Okay, so they should have spoken about the second condition when they split the Red Sea. Elamai, the Red Sea was afraid that maybe now that he's becoming land and he's becoming walls like with stones, maybe Hashem changes format. It's not water. It's not anymore. The water cannot be water. It doesn't have to be water. Water is something else. It has different rules. Hashem changed the rules of the water. And when he came back and he saw there wasn't change, it was just part of the second condition. And when he went back to the first condition, then he understood that the condition of splitting for the Jewish people was a momentarily condition. But Chaim HaKodesh is a problem with that. Because two things. Number one is if it was a special condition, why he had a fight with Moshe Rabbeinu. Number two, we see that Hashem split the rivers not only for the Jewish people coming out of Egypt, also Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair. Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair was the son-in-law of Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai. No, not Pinchas, the son of Aaron. Pinchas ben Azar ben Aaron HaKohen. Rather, Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair was a Tana. He was father-in-law of Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai. And he went to redeem captive. And on the way that he's redeeming captive, he has money, he wants to redeem captive. There was a big river, big rain and rivers called Ginai. He couldn't pass through. So he said, split, I'm going to do a mitzvah. So the minister of the river says, I'm doing Hashem's will. You do Hashem's will. Why are you better than me? So he says, I'm decreeing on you to split, and you have to split. So we see that the condition to be water and the rules of water wasn't broken only with a Tanai for the Jewish people. It was also broken for private people like Pinchas ben Yair. So what's the big deal that Hashem says that the sea went back to the original condition? He was afraid because it was a special condition above the original condition. No, the first condition is being broken many times in the Red Sea and also in Pinchas ben Yair and private people. So what is the big thing that Hashem says the sea went back to its condition when, and it was only one-time deal, when we see it's not a one-time deal.
was able to talk with the angel of water.
Yes, sure. The father-in-law of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. They were big people. So we want to know what is the power of Rabbi Pinchas ben Yoir, alav shalom, to overcome the Ma'aseh Bereshis, means the condition of Ma'aseh Bereshis, of an action of creation. So here Dor HaChaim reveals to us a very big fundamental understanding. Ochen Tnaise, however, this condition, ubichlal atnoim sheitnu Hashem al kol Ma'aseh Bereshis. No. You're making a mistake. When Hashem split the river of Ginoi v'Rabbi Yoir, it's not really changing. It's not changing the rules of creation. Why? It's all part of the rules of creation. Why? Liois kfufim. When Hashem created the world, listen to this, Yechezkel. When Hashem created the world, He created a world that should be bending la Torah ve'amaleo, those learning Torah and those who toil in Torah, to the Torah and to the toilers of Torah. Ve'laso, says, to do kol ma she'asher igzu aleim. When Hashem created the world, He says, yes, water has to be water, with the rules of water. CO2 has to be flexible, has to be always the same height, etc. It's liquid, elastic. Oh, great. This is the character of water. However, it's all has to be kofuf, bending, la Torah ve'la moleo. Those who learn Torah and those who toil in Torah. The last is called asher igzu aleim. And to do whatever Hashem, whatever the Chachomim, the rabbis, decree on them. Umemshaltom aleim, the ruling of the rabbis, of the learners of Torah on the creation of the world. Kememsheles haboiru, like the kingdom of Hashem, like the ruling of Hashem. Hashem rules the world, but He gave those who learn Torah and toil in Torah also ruling over Ma'aseh Bereshis. That's why if you know Shemus HaKadoshim, Abakadabra, Aleph Beis, Adabra Kadabra. Your words can change the world. ולזה תנסוב כמויכם בשמיים ובארץ ובכוכבים ובשמש הירח. We found in heaven and earth stars, sun, moon, Yoshua bin Nun, etc. Sholtu aleim atzadikim, the righteous Jews, Yechidim, even singular, control them. They stop the sun, stop the moon. Rain. Elianovi prayed for rain. Big Tanoim prayed for Rabbi Chuna ben what was his name? Choni Amagel. Ve'ein tzorich loimar merubim. Not needed to say that many rabbis, even single rabbis. Why? Because it's all part of creation. You hear this, Yechezkel? You hear this table, this wood? This wood needs to be wood. My hand cannot go through this, right? Why? Because Hashem made a condition when He created wood to be wood, stone to be stone. But He gave the Talmidei Chachomim, learners of Torah, and those who toil in Torah, dominion over them, like Hashem's dominion over them.
They give them the possibility of see the energy of good.
Yeah. Kasher chokak lohem Hashem beis habriyot. The same power Hashem gave them in the time of creation to be each one his own character. Part of that character that He created in creation, there was a character in it that Talmidei Chachomim, learners of Torah and toil in Torah, have dominion over it. It's part of creation. Yes. This is the secret of Yeshayahu Hanavi. Says, Yaakov, your creator. Yaakov created? Hashem created. Oh. The Medrash Vayikra says, Sha'oma HaKadosh Baruch Hu lo'olamoi, mi broacho mi yitzorcho. Hashem told the world, He asked the world, who created you? Who formed you? And he answered, Israel, the Jewish people. V'akol bekoach haTorah. All in the power of Torah. When we bring in Hashem's words, the eternal words of Hashem, the nitzchias, and soif of Hashem into ourselves and intellect, without power, we have dominion over the physical world. It's part of the physics of the creation. The Goyim don't know this. They think physics is physics. Those are the rules. But they don't know there's a fifth column. There's quantum. There's another side to the physics. Is what? Koach haTorah. The power of the Torah, לכפופים לתורה והמולאו, ולעשו את כל אשר יגזרו עליהם, וממשלתם עליהם, כממשלת הבורא ברוך הוא, the same way ממשול Hashem is, the long the Torah memsholo that rule over dominion over the physical world is part of the physics of creation. Unbelievable.
But God created all these things, material things, to us to elevate them.
Oh.
Because I use this table with this Gemoide and study
Yes.
to elevate everything.
But if now the Torah Kedosha needs to demolish this table, it will be demolished.
But
It's part of the rules of creation.
this table is kadosh.
Go out and learn what I wrote in Posuk and Bereshis. It says, "V'hine b'yitzias Mitzrayim," when the Jewish people left Egypt, Adayin lo kiblu Torah. That's the big difference. When the Jewish people left Egypt, they didn't receive the Torah yet. So they don't have rules of dominion over the Red Sea. When they make decree on the creatures, they don't have the power because the Torah is not in them yet. That's why the Red Sea did not agree to split. He told Moshe, you created on Friday, I was created Yom Shlishi. Zeremes Kielu ben Torah. You're not in the world of Torah yet. Shema ben Torah. If the Torah was before you can't say you Friday and I'm Tuesday. If you have the Torah in you, it's even before Sunday. Bereshis bara Elokim b'shil Torah. Torah was created before the world, for the world and before the world.
It's like the bigger and the small one.
Right. Ki ha-Torah kodma lo'olam kuloi. The Torah was before the entire world. Velazeh nischakem Hashem. That's why Hashem twist around. He put his right to the right of Moshe Rabbeinu. He showed them. Iroku ben Torah. Amisyaches lo yeminich si miyamino ishtas lomoi. He showed that Moshe Rabbeinu has Torah here. All the Jewish people didn't get it yet, but he is a ben Torah. When he saw that, right away he ripped part of the first condition. It's not that you have the first condition and you have another special condition. So if there's special condition, why didn't he talk about it when it was split? And why now when they go back, they talk about it to the first? Why you got all excited? What I find the answer is, there's no two conditions. There's only one condition. Bereshis bara Elokim, he created the world, and part of the creation rules, the Amole HaTorah have dominion, have shlita, have control over the physical world. The only problem was Moshe Rabbeinu, when he was wanted to read the speed, that the Jewish people didn't get the Torah yet. Velazeh, therefore, this is the conclusion of the Orach Chaim HaKodesh. Velazeh, called tzaddik v'tzaddik. Every righteous man and a righteous man. Sheyamoid achar kabbalas haTorah. Any tzaddik that stands after receiving of the Torah. Yovi beyodo shtarchoiv echod lekufoi mechal yafonov. If he brings one debt document, shtarchov, he can force the physical world to split in front of him. But until you find out, when the Ginai River didn't want to split the fingers by Yoir, and those who escort him, so because they wanted to give him a punishment, a fine. He was afraid, the sea was afraid, and he split. This is a very famous Orach Chaim. So what do we learn from this Orach Chaim HaKodesh? The Orach Chaim HaKodesh that says, what does it mean by Yosha, Vayom Lifmos Bele Sonoi? Here, he had to change because the Jewish people didn't have yet the Torah. So you have to go back to the original. It was a special nes, or special miracle. You have to go back to the original night. But after we got the Torah, every generation, every Talmid Chacham in his generations has the power to break the dominion over, if it's for the sake of the Torah, he has the power, and not only the people that escort him, even his students, he has the power to change the physical world. Now we see there was a famous story when the Germans were conquering Europe, started to conquer north of Africa, and they had a plan to meet, conquering the entire Europe, Asia, and North Africa, or Middle East, and meet here in Yerushalayim, and to build the Third Reich. So there was a meeting between big tzaddikim in Eretz Israel, and one of those big tzaddikim was the Admor Milelov. No. Admor, no. Milelov. It's a big Rebbe. And he said, what's the big deal? Let's show the Germans that the Torah controls the world. And let's make a decree to put down the Germans. Oh, they want to show they control the world. The world's being controlled by Talmidei Chachamim. So the rabbis answer them back, yes, you're right, but not when there's a decree of Hashem. There's a gzeira gdoilo against the Jewish nation. We don't know what is it. Maybe it's Gog Magog. We don't know what is it. That the entire world is going to be controlled by the Germans. So therefore, true that the world is being under the dominion of the Lom Da Torah, but there is a decree on the Lom Da Torah. Hashem made a decree on the Lom Da Torah. The world, so then it's different. It's a gzeira. The gzeira from Hashem. But he was ready. He says, what's a big deal? Let's make a psak of Beis Shelmato, and it'll be finished. The rabbis control the physical world. They have dominion. Learners of Torah, Torah v'amoleo, the Torah and those who toil in Torah. They have memshala and shlita over the physical world.
The Russian says that
it's a death, which means there's a reason, there's a need. There's a need. If it proves there's a need that the Torah needs, the mitzvah Torah needs the physical rule to change, so they will change because it's part of their physics. It's part of the. So my father, bless his memory, used to say to him, Rabbi Zimmerman, that Kabbalah, the whole idea of Kabbalah is the spiritual science. You have the physical science. You go to a doctor, he tells you all the physical science. The what? Eat this. You have who knows this acid of this, and electroneutrons effects here and there. I tell you the physical world, how the physical thing. You take this pill, will change the format, will change the who knows what the chemistry, this and that. But there's another thing. There's a fifth column. There's four. How do you call it? 3 dimension. There's a 5th dimension. And the 5th dimension is all part of creation. That if a person does tshuva and he accepts the yoke of Torah, the sickness will go away. Finish. Or Talmud gives you a bracha, or demands shtarchoiv. The tzibur needs you, a person, whatever it is, it goes away. And we see it in reality. Why? It's a nes, or it's part of creation. Part of creation.
You talked yesterday with the medicine of the natural. We have God in the nature.
Right.
We need to know what plants have here that he created to help ourselves because he's very smart.
That's right.
No,
That's in the code of Jewish
But
law.
if we believe in human beings, oh, doctor, okay, doctor, you are no, Sur, it's prohibited.
It's true.
I believe in God. I believe in His plan. I know that He created everything.
Right.
He can help with
That's one thing.
the
That he
natural.
created their redemption in the natural. That's one thing. Or mamtik mar b'mar. But the point is that when you go to a rabbi, yes, a bracha. When the Talmidei Chachomim make miracles for the need of the Torah, it's not miracles. It's part of the condition of Ma'aseh Bereshis, and that's the Yisrael. It's a big Or Chaim, very famous Or Chaim. Or Chaim HaKodosh, the holy Or Chaim. Okay. Rabbi Hanania ben Akash Yoimer, Chavez. Ota Kadosh Baruch Hu L'zach Yisrael Lefika. Here my tenet shenemar lecho v'tzemah tzedul already. Oh, we're missing two people.
No, three. Two. Wait, I studied that in the
There's
race.
somebody there?
There's 8 in the middle.
I studied that in the race.
Ma?
You have 9. You need one more. 3, 4, 5, 6. There's probably a keep up. You need one more couple.